Imagine sacrificing 8 years of your life, working jobs you absolutely hate to support your family, only to find out your entire marriage was a calculated lie. 2 nights ago, my wife dropped a bombshell that completely destroyed my world. My wife and I built what I thought was a flawless life together over the past 8 years. When we first met, she already had a beautiful child whom I later legally adopted as my own, and since then, we've blessed our home with 2 more kids. Our family felt complete, filled with constant laughter, and I genuinely believed we had the perfect marriage. Then, a little over a year ago, everything began to shift. She was prescribed antidepressants, and she claimed the medication had completely wiped out her physical desire. Intimacy became incredibly rare. But last month, the distance between us turned cold. She stopped wanting to cuddle, and every time I leaned in to kiss her, she would coldly turn her face away, giving me her cheek. 2 nights ago, unable to take the emotional torture any longer, I finally broke down. I asked her if she had lost all interest in me. That's when she dropped the bombshell. She realized she is a lesbian. The worst part isn't just the truth, it's her calculation. She discovered this weeks ago but confessed she had zero plans of ever telling me. Because she's a stay-at-home mom, she simply wanted to keep using me for financial security, housing, and childcare, completely indifferent to the emotional toll it was taking on me. She was perfectly fine watching me slowly destroy my own mental health, drowning in guilt and wondering what I was doing wrong, just so she could avoid a minor hardship in her own life. And now, society expects me to celebrate her bravery and support her truth. But what about the last 8 years of my life? I sacrificed everything. I worked miserable, soul-crushing jobs just to provide for my family, entirely fueled by the vision of our shared future. Now, that future is completely gone. Because she doesn't want the kids to know yet, I've been forced to carry this agonizing secret completely alone for the last 48 hours, with absolutely no one to talk to. She gets to step into the world as a hero for finding herself, while I am left picking up the broken pieces of a life I sacrificed everything to build. Imagine graduating college with big dreams, confidence, and a bright future ahead of you, only to wake up on your 30th birthday in a homeless shelter. I remember who I used to be, but now, my entire identity has been completely erased by the system. I am 30 years old, sleeping in a homeless shelter, and honestly, it feels like my life officially ended the day I finished college. Back then, everything was different. I had a solid circle of friends, a great social life, romantic interest, and big creative dreams. I was confident, optimistic, and genuinely believed that a bright future was waiting for me. I felt like I was destined for greatness. But right after graduation, around the age of 23, my reality began to slowly crumble. I couldn't land the career I had envisioned. Instead, I found myself trapped in a cycle of dead-end, low-paying jobs. Slowly, I started pulling away from everyone. Drinking became a daily escape, and my situation at home deteriorated. Then came the lockdowns, which pushed me over the edge. I got kicked out, started couch surfing, got kicked out again, and eventually rented a small room, only to face an illegal eviction. That was the final blow that landed me straight into the harsh shelter system. People who have never experienced homelessness have no idea what it actually does to your mind. It's not just about having zero money. It's waking up every single morning with absolutely no privacy. It's being trapped in a room constantly surrounded by people who are in deep psychological crisis. You cease to be a human being. You just become a case number in a giant machine. You are forced to deal with a broken bureaucracy that moves at a painful pace while your entire life is completely paused. It is an endless loop of paperwork, mandatory appointment, waiting lists, housing applications, and case managers. You sit through assessments, referrals, eligibility reviews, and deadlines, only for them to lose your documents and tell you to wait even longer. It is soul-crushing to know that your entire future rests in the hands of people who get to go home at 5 p.m., while you are left stuck behind. Months have bled into years, and I can literally feel my true identity slipping away. The absolute worst part of this nightmare is that I still remember who I used to be. I remember what it felt like to be loved, to have hope, and to feel like my life was just starting. Now, I am entering my 30s from a shelter bed, completely isolated, wondering where it all went wrong. Society always talks about homelessness as a housing crisis, but nobody ever talks about the destruction of your self-worth. No one speaks about the sheer humiliation, the agonizing loneliness, the deep shame, and the loss of human dignity. It truly feels like the world has quietly decided that you no longer matter.